everybody, and welcome back to our channel. I'm Coldfire, and Kit here.
I'm Kit. I'm back, at least temporarily.
Yes, he's going to be. He's been, doing a lot of things because we were closing on a house, and he's been doing all the legwork because, I don't know if I've told anybody before, but I am a disabled veteran, so I have, PTSD. I have a lot of problems going on. He last year suffered a congestive heart failure, almost lost him, and then November of last year I had a massive heart attack, and it's still taking me a while to get back with that, and so he's finally got up to the speed of slowing down a little bit with the house and all the stuff, filling out all the paperwork. If anybody's ever bought a house, it takes a long time. But today, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be doing a hot topic every now and then of things that are going on currently in the world, and especially with things that we seem to need to be addressed. And I think today we're going to touch on basically women's rights, how they're treated in society, hateful speech, misogyny, ageism, and that brings us to the situation that happened with the Queen Madonna on the Grammy night. In case any of you have not seen or heard about it, it's kind of hard not to miss it because she has been taking a lot of social media bashing for being called a mummy to looking like she was embalmed and unrecognizable. And we're just going to touch on that situation and how it pertains to women the world over.
It's not even just women. It's more about how do you talk and speak and act to your fellow man, in my opinion. And I like to start off with something, if you don't mind. In regards to the whole Madonna thing, and the way that they treat her because of what the hurtful things that they've said about she needs to act her age, she needs to this. No, she don't. Age is just a number, okay? You're as old as you feel, and by looking at Madonna, she definitely does not feel her age. How old is she? 63?
She's only 64. She's only just 10 years older than me.
So,
And I'm not going to... I refuse to go.
But, bottom line is, she can act however the hell she wants. There was a video I saw of, and it happens to pertain to Madonna, about a grandma dancing to Bitch on Madonna. I remember I showed it to you. It was either a YouTube, a TikTok, I don't know.
Yeah.
But she was getting down. So why is it she gets all these hits on whatever platform I saw it on, but then Madonna gets all this criticism? But also, flip side of the coin, in my opinion, look at all the men. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna use our ex-president of last year, or no, I'm sorry, 2 years ago, something like that, where everybody's saying that, and it's from the same people, that Madonna needs to act her age, but they're okay with how he was acting when he was president.
And that brings up a very point, not cutting you off, but as a society, what age do we just crawl up under a rock and give up and act our age?
When the forces out there tell us to.
Right. When you feel like
that's
you
why I said age is
can't do it. And I think that, and it's not saying to those out there who want to grow old gracefully, yeah, I have a mother who's 77 years old and doesn't look 77. Because she tries her best to take care of herself. And to me, she's beautiful. Because I look at her soul and her heart, the way she treats people, and the way that she's my best friend. Unfortunately, he lost his best friend recently last year, and it was actually both of our best friends, and that was his mother. And yeah, just hurtful things that people say is a saying that I was always brought up to say. Just because you have the right to say it doesn't mean it's right to say. And I drive him crazy a little bit because I am the YouTuber. He just helps me out and supports me. And I drive him crazy sometimes because I'm constantly, researching on YouTube things to do for our loyal subscribers and future subscribers, or just people who run across our page. And I just want to point out one little thing. When we're reacting to videos, whether they're the things that I'm familiar with, like the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and I'm also a little bit with the 80s and 90s, but I kind of draw the line starting after the 80s. But he's more of the 80s, 90s, and today's type of person. So we have gotten a little bit of comments that, we do overlook. Not say overlook, that would be the word,
I don't take offense to it.
We don't take offense to it, even though they could be a little bit harsh, because he's more subtle, I'm more flamboyant, and when it comes to a reaction video, people, the reason why reaction videos were started was to get your honest opinion about the song, the artist, the message it's sending, and how each one of us either agree on it 100% or don't agree on it. We're going to try to say, we will never go on here and say something negative about someone's image. I believe that is a big thing. You can like say things like, I like the way they sing, but personally I wouldn't put them on my playlist because it makes me too somber, it makes me too relaxed, and I have to go to work. And that's how most of the time, whenever we were reacting to like the Carpenters and Elvis Presley and a few other ones, it's not the fact that he did not appreciate their music and what they've done to lead other performers and artists to do what they have to do. It's just, that's his opinion. And if you want it sugar coated, yeah, you can go to other YouTubers, and yes, you're gonna see a lot of sugar coating, because that's how they get their subscribers. When I started this channel, I didn't necessarily go in it with the saying that I want to, have all these subscribers and people bowing down to me and saying all this, stuff that, was good. Because even the negative comments, they should be more directed towards that you didn't like how we responded to a certain video, but it shouldn't be an attack on the person themselves, if you get the meaning of that.
Well,
and which this brings us to what is currently
just before we touch base on that. Okay. I'm a very dry humor type of person, so sometimes I'll crack a joke and 99% of the population won't get it. Does that hurt my feelings? No. That's just who I am. When I'm watching a video and listening to a song, I've gotten a lot of feedback that I look bored
or miserable.
One lady said, or gentleman, I don't know who, but it was a comment from a subscriber.
No,
wasn't a subscriber. I don't know. There was a comment when I was doing an Elvis song and Hound Dog that think the comment goes to something like, the guy in the glasses and dark hair looks miserable. I wasn't miserable.
Right.
I was listening to the song. I was watching the video because I've not heard that song before. And so I was paying attention to it. I can't, when I'm paying attention to a video or a song, I don't multitask. I pay attention to that. So yeah, I may look miserable. I may look bored. Unfortunately, that's just how I look. If I'm miserable and bored, I'm not going to be here. And you can ask him.
It's me. It's me. I'm the overthinker. He's the logical thinker.
So
I sometimes get caught up with my disability, and it carries me to another sentence, and I don't even realize it sometimes, and he has to catch me. But
with that being said,
yeah, the whole reason why we wanted to do this was, the other day, whenever all these attacks were coming out about the woman who literally saved my life, because at 16, whenever I found out that I was gay, living in a small town in Georgia, I didn't know what else to do. I knew that I wasn't normal. I didn't fit into the status quo. I didn't have any peers to relate to. And so I locked myself into my bedroom, and I was going to end it. I literally was going to end it. I had the means, I had the possibility, and the motive. But I heard a voice behind me on the TV. And I heard this woman speaking about how she was going to stand up for anyone who was marginalized, no matter who it was. Whether it was degradation to women, or whether it was gay people, or if it was trans people, if it was the black and brown community. Madonna appeared on the screen. And I immediately stopped in my tracks, and I forgot all about ending my life. Because she pointed out that I was special. Even though she wasn't talking and saying my name, she was talking to the world that she was going to be the advocate for change. And that's the night I went and told my mother and father that I was gay. And they proudly accepted me. They said they knew when I was 5. They were just waiting for me to be comfortable to tell them. But
and that was the night the lights came on in Georgia.
But anyways, whenever, getting back, see how I get off subject, but I can relate to, I cried my eyes out the other day when my husband was at work, because I was reading all the negative posts that Pierce Morgan was putting out, and people were saying about her on the social media, and it's not the Christians to blame, even though most of them were quoting from the Bible with quotes saying that she was the incarnation of the devil, that a certain passage in the Bible said that she reached the age where she now showed her true face, which was the devil. And I found it kind of ironic, since Christians aren't supposed to judge. I was always brought up, I've read the Bible from the beginning to end 3 times.
I'm going into all that all today.
But I'm just going to tell you right now, God makes no mistakes. That's quoted in the Bible. And he also said that, lost my training of thought there real quick.
That's okay.
Because you interrupted me.
Well, I'm sorry. They're not here for Bible study.
What I'm saying is, there was a lot of them on there, and even though I'm not pointing out specifically Christians, but they should know better.
Yes.
If they can quote a passage from the Bible, they should know that Jesus spoke of love and acceptance. He never worshipped in a church.
Okay.
He took up for everyone that was marginalized.
I get that, but not everybody has those views.
Understandable.
But
the other people should understand as well.
This is...
What do you feel like when people say mean or hurtful things to you? If one person comes into your job or meets you on the street,
or your life, period,
or your life, because I've experienced it, one little word, just one quote from just one person, how many of you have gone home and it made you feel down, it made you feel belittled, cried, or just thought about giving up? And then compare that to, oh my God, there was probably over 500,000 people making threats to her, negative comments that she should give up. She was called a grandma, even though she has no grandchildren, by the way. But it hurt me so bad to know that my idol that saved my life was personally being attacked. And that goes for all women, or anybody, but especially women. And that's the subject I want to touch on today. Madonna is a prime example to show that ageism and misogyny do exist in our country towards women primarily. I don't ever remember any, and I'm sure they're out there somewhere, but not this big. You know what I'm talking about? I'm pretty sure there was attacks on men for getting facelifts or not giving up. But to me, we have a society built on when men get older, they're like wine. They age perfectly better. They're better. But if a woman ages, like Madonna said, it is a sin. They even stopped playing her music, her newer music, on the radio in 2015, remember?
Yes.
Because she had reached over 50 years of age.
Yeah.
In the UK, one of the countries that really respects Madonna, actually boycotted, even the younger generation, boycotted the UK, that they better play Madonna, Rebel Heart, and her Madam X, no matter what her age was, or they would stop listening to the radio.
I mean, who cares what their age
is? And they started playing her on the radio.
I mean, who cares what their age is? As long as the music, if people want to hear it, they should play it. Point blank.
Well, in the U.S.,
yeah, I know,
we have a different. We have so many morals, but yet we don't.
See, and I don't get that. We have all these morals, but we pride ourselves on freedom. But because of these morals that not everybody believes in. And here's an example. Take the two of us, for instance. He was just preaching stuff to you out of the Bible. I don't believe in the Bible. I believe it's just a big book. You know, unfortunately, and I know a lot of people ain't going to agree with this, I don't believe in God. I believe there is a higher power out there, but I do not believe in it being called God. I would best represent Wiccan, Buddhist, that sort of thing. However, not to get off subject.
More agnostic, probably.
But not to get off subject, but in regards to that, we have living in this country, I have the freedom to believe that. But why do I need to listen to all these moral issues just because somebody in the Midwest has it? Why are they attacking somebody that I actually like? And I do like Madonna. I'm not a Madonna nut like he is, but I like 90% of her songs. It's just wrong.
You know, but you got to admit, for 40 years,
people need to.
She has been attacked for everything she does. She can get up and walk to her mailbox, and someone will criticize if she checked the mail or not.
And here's the thing: my theory is with people, what we should be doing as a society, and I'm not saying baby everybody because I don't believe in that either. However, I do believe in if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
Well, I got a quote better than...
You can say stuff to people, you know, like what she's doing. If you don't believe in how she's acting, that's fine. So,
Switch chase,
or
switch the station,
no.
change the channel.
Well, here's the thing. Oh yeah, I got that. That was a Madonna song.
Yep.
My thing is, if you don't like what Madonna's doing, like if you don't like her hair, and y'all gonna hate me for this. The Grammys, the whole braid thing, I don't like that look on her. But if that's what makes her happy, so be it. So that's a way that we should be saying it in society is, I don't particularly care for that hairstyle or the look she's going for, but if it makes her happy, go for it. Just like with me. As you all know, last time you saw me, I had longer hair. He doesn't like me with short hair. I just needed something simple, just for the time being, so I can get up, take a shower, and go. Because I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work. I don't want to have to do hair. So reluctantly, he allowed. Not I don't want to use the word allowed, but he was like, "Okay, do it. If it makes you happy, do it." So I did, and I do like it, but I am letting my hair grow out again, but not because of him. It's just that's just me. So if you got something that you don't like about somebody, that's fine.
Keep it to yourself.
Keep the negativity to yourself, but you can tell them that you don't like it without saying...
Or turn it around and say something else. Oh, I see you changed your hairstyle. Do you like it? Do you feel better, more comfortable with it? Okay, well that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. How you feel. And what I was going to say a while ago, if it hasn't left my mind already, like I said, I have a lot of disabilities and short-term memory is one of them. And I was going to say something kind of relatable to what he was saying is, we're not on here attacking men and saying that women deserve special rights. They deserve equal rights, the same as men. Which brings me to another important thing, and I'm going to kind of slide away from Madonna a little bit, but she is a big advocate for it. But look, for 50 years, we had into law that women had control of their bodies. Who are we, especially men? Men should not even have a say in what a woman does to her body. Because... to me, that's like saying gay people don't have rights to their to who they are. So, when we start attacking people for looking like they're old, which, by the way, they found out that was photographer had distorted the image and made her look really old. And there is nothing wrong with being old. It means you're wiser. But it's to a certain point now that if we do not, as a society, treat women equally, and I'm not saying you have to hold the door open for them, or do certain things. There is... unless they have, a problem getting in the door, like a disability or something. If
that's what they want, then so be it.
I mean, if you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. But I believe that everyone should be on an equal playing ground. And then that way, no one can say anything about anything. But when you start taking away a woman's right to her body, it didn't push us back to the 70s, back to the women's liberation, burn the bra era. This pushed us back to the biblical days, where women were property. And they were sold that way. That's why it's called marriage. Marriage, if you ever heard of it, where's your ball and chain? That expression was around for hundreds of years because it represented a woman in ball and chains because she was owned. She would be betrothed to a man that she didn't even want to marry, but because he had land or money, he was able to buy her. So, but getting back to the point of that, I think that the way that Madonna was treated was disrespectful. It was, and when I cried, I could only imagine how she felt when she went home that night. I'm pretty sure even someone as powerful as Madonna had to have gone home and probably cried her eyes out and fell asleep.
Nah, I don't see her doing that.
There is a vulnerable side to Madonna.
Oh, I'm sure there is. But
because she wrote a song about it, Joan of Arc, in her Rebel Heart, and it explains it. She's strong to the world, but she'll go home and cry her eyes out
sure she will.
and get over it. But she gets over it real quick. But and who knows? I simply think that the reason why this is all going on is because when Madonna sets out to get a message across, she doesn't just go and make a political speech about it. She acts the part. Yeah, she's never had any really big hit movies other than Evita and A League of Their Own and
possibly Who's That Girl?
Who's That Girl, which I thought was a wonderful movie. Should have been number one. But anyways.
Drax! I love doing that to him, by the way.
You get my thought of mine.
But anyways, we
What was I saying?
I don't remember. But you said you were going to get off of Madonna, but then you ended up going back on her.
No, I'm trying to switch back and forth to show that she, I believe, in my point of view, we won't know until we see her this September because he was grateful enough to remortgage her house and buy me Madonna tickets.
Yay!
Just so I could be in the front, close to the front row because...
And now we're moving.
It was always my dream to see Madonna in concert. And I honestly don't care what she looks like. I don't look at a woman and say, you're too old to be wearing that outfit. You're too old to be acting like that. You are supposed to go out and you are supposed to feel and act as young as you want to for as long as you want to. If you want to do something with your hair and someone says that looks too young for you, if you want to wear an outfit that someone said that's too young for you, just tell them to F off. You know what I'm saying? Because it's you that's got to feel comfortable. And only you are going to feel comfortable if you do what you want to do. And another reason it hurt me bad was, like I said, not only did she save my life, she has saved thousands of lives by coming out before Cher, before Elton John, who attacks her so publicly, and I don't even know why, because she's never done anything to him. Except she lip-synced one time while she was dancing on an award show, which he sits behind a piano. He doesn't need to lip-sync. But getting off that subject, I don't hate any of them. I'm just saying that Madonna was the first one as an artist that had the platform. She was already a major star. She became such a major star so quick. But one of the first things that she tackled was the AIDS epidemic that was going on in our country. And she would literally give 3/4 of her concert money that she had earned to the AIDS project. Her friends were dying left and right from AIDS. It was devastating for her. But she continued to fight for AIDS research. She continued to stand up for the LGBTQIA+. She stood up against racial inequality when she done Like a Prayer. It was BLM 30-something years before it was even a thing. She has stood up for women a lot of people criticize her and look at her videos and say that she is setting women back by showing nudity, um, religious symbols, all this stuff she gets bashed for. The reason why Madonna puts religion in just about everything she does is not because she is so religious. It's the fact that her mother that she lost when she was only 5 years old was a devout Catholic. And so she carries that torch as a remembrance to her mother. So when she does a video, it's not necessarily being blasphemous. It's actually her having her mother there with her in her own symbolic way. But it's just one of those things that she, since the beginning of time of her career, she's always stood up and helped so many people. I mean, I remember when the AIDS crisis was coming out, and in New York, they had this huge hospital. And she's going to talk about this in her movie, which is on hold right now because she's going to be doing her celebration tour. But she said that even family members would not come and visit the men that were dying in the beds from AIDS. They were emaciated. They had days to live, if not hours. But she went there and she spent the whole day, and she got in the bed with each of those men and wrapped her arms around them and told them that there was someone that loved them. And she told them that she loved them. And even just a small gesture like that, that was more than anyone would even dare do. Because you got to understand, at that time, people thought you can get it by touching, by drinking, by kissing, by hugging. It was not. Madonna was educated. She knew ahead of her time. She has an IQ of 150. It's over the genius point. So she isn't going to do anything stupid. But the fact that she did that before anybody else would do it, before any of these gay artists from her era came out 30 years later, and then they started becoming AIDS activists and gay activists and all that, now they're getting praise. She's getting vilified. Why? Because she's a woman. Women aren't supposed to be sexy. And only up until 40. And I just think it's a ridiculous thing that women in our country and probably the world, but I think it's the U.S. that really.
I think the U.S. is the biggest hypocrite of people.
I love my country. I served for my country, but I do have to point out the hypocrisy. We have so many things that we try to live good lives, good, moral, upstanding lives, but yet we don't act like it. And if you ain't gonna walk the walk, then don't talk the talk. Because right now, all I can think about is Madonna. Because I'm concerned for her. Not because of how she looks. But we have lost so many great artists over the years to gunshots, but mostly to drug overdose. And you know why? Prime example, Michael Jackson. The accusations against Michael Jackson. Yeah, he had plastic surgery. People made fun of him. I think that is a good reference. Mm-hmm. I can remember, he wasn't born with the cleft. He done the nose narrow. He was trying to be white and
no, he wasn't.
Whatever he was trying to do.
He wasn't trying to be white. I believe he had the skin condition.
And he was trying to.
So instead of it being blotchy, he just went white. Which
wasn't alopecia? I believe is like Jada Pinkett Smith has.
Yeah.
where the
But anyways, the
but
point.
yeah, he was viciously attacked, and it wasn't that long. He went in. He went underground and he didn't surface, and then all the allegations come out about with the kids and everything. And I personally didn't believe it because I personally think that Michael Jackson was in a mind frame that he actually never got a chance to grow up mentally. So how would he even want to do that? That's my point of view.
No, and I can relate a little bit to that as well because when I was growing up, I took care of the household. I mean, yes, I had a mother and a father. They were going through a divorce. My father kidnapped me for a lot of times. Mother finally found me. Long story short, but even after my mom remarried, the second time, when they were at work, there was nobody here to take care of the house, so I took care of the house. I didn't have a chance to have the childhood that, for instance, my sister did.
Yes.
Okay. My sister had the childhood. She had the friends. She, et cetera, et cetera. So now, the age that I am, which, I'm late 40s, he makes fun of me. I still watch cartoons. I watch the old school, well, not really old school, but Pokemon, Ben 10, Disney's Gargoyles. I watch stuff like that. I play the video games. Not consistently. I'm not one of these gamers and stuff like that. But I enjoy it because I've spent my childhood being an adult. I started working when I was 15. And
that's back when we all had to
work. That was
movies.
Back then when people actually worked.
You didn't get a handout to get gas in the car if you wanted to ride somewhere. You
wanted,
had to get a job.
If you wanted gas to go somewhere, you better have had a job. The only time my parents would give me gas money for my car is if it was to go to work.
Or go to the grocery store for them.
For them, yeah.
Or do an errand for them.
But for the most part, it was...
Or go cut the grass.
Yeah, fill your tank up.
Yourself.
But anyways, so that's so I can understand why he would feel that way, when Michael Jackson would feel that way, is because, not as bad as he did, because obviously at a young age, he was famous, Jackson 5.
He never got a chance to grow up mentally.
Anytime that he wanted to do something.
So he felt like a kid.
So I can see where he wanted to be.
So when he had sleepovers, he actually probably thought that he was their age.
Yeah, and I don't believe that he did.
I don't either.
But
look what it did to him.
Yeah.
He basically got so depressed and couldn't sleep that he would have to take drugs more and more and more and more and more till finally, some celebrities get to the point where the doctor is getting paid. They're going to do what the celebrity tells them to do.
But that's a whole different concept.
We have lost so many greats because we have criticized them. Like Michael Jackson, we've lost George Michael.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Prince. We lost Whitney Houston. And she's another fine example of when women get to be a certain age. I mean, yes, there may have been, drug use on that. But, it wasn't... It was probably the drugs that she used to escape the harsh, cruel things that were said to her, even though there are positive things said about her. Because the human body is designed that we can take 95% positivity and enlightenment and everything else, but if only just 1 to 5% of negativity is thrown at us, something could just easily snap inside of us, and you'll never see them again.
Okay, so
but anyways, we made this a little bit too long.
Yes.
I believe, because we got off the subject a lot. It was supposed to be about.
Which
I just want everyone to realize that Madonna is a human being. Yes, she's an icon. She is a trailblazer. She is everything that you could ask for in an artist. She has paved the way for everyone. Even Taylor Swift will tell you that. She was the only one to stand up at the Grammys and applaud Madonna because Taylor Swift idolizes Madonna because Taylor said one time she would not be where she's at had it not been for Madonna. And I truly believe that. A lot of artists, even Beyonce, said the same thing. She paved the way for a lot of women by taking a lot of criticism. But she was also 20s, and at 20s, everything rolls off of you like water off a duck.
So,
but let's just stop criticizing people. I know a lot of you on here, I've seen the, the views for our Madonna videos, and I'm pretty sure we have a lot of Madonna, fans on here that can agree with me that, that we need to not just stop hating on Madonna, but she's a prime example of how the media treats celebrities. But we also got to realize that this goes on with regular women that are out there doing hard work as well. And whether you're a stay-at-home mom, that's a job, or you're a corporate woman, or you're, a celebrity. It's the same. All people should be created equally. And let's just stop the hate, the discrimination, and the misogyny, the ageism, the everything that our society is. Because I'm telling you right now, if we don't stop the hatred towards people, one day you're going to wake up and you're going to realize that they're not there for you to hate on them anymore. And that's just all I've got to say. And
my final thought on this is, bottom line, don't see color, don't see religion, just see the human being.
It's what's
we
inside.
We can all love each other and be respectful towards each other, regardless.
Yes.
Just keep in mind, like I was brought up, besides if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Just remember the golden rule. Treat others as you would want to be treated yourself. So if you honestly would like someone to tell you that you are old, or you are fat, or you are, an abomination, then go by all means say it, because it's going to be said to you. If you don't want that to be said to you, chances are neither does the person you're thinking it about. Keep your comments to yourself.
I do want to add,
all love each other once and for all, and be done with this crap.
I do want to add one little thing that I forgot to say. And when I was reading through all the comments, more than half of them were women, young women.
Oh, about me?
No, about Madonna.
Oh, yeah.
And that was more hurtful than men attacking Madonna. Because to me, if you are a young woman, and trust me, men feel the same way. When, at least gay men do. There's a thing in the gay culture, especially with gay men. We, believe it or not, in the LGBT community, we discriminate against each other. And at the age of 30, you're considered ancient.
Yep.
And I'm 51, but I'm going on 29. I'm not going to let anything get me down too long. But it just hurts when other women that are younger attack women who are more advanced in age than they are. Because they don't realize when they tell if a 25-year-old tells Madonna, 64, hey grandma, start acting your age, take care of your children, do this, dress appropriately and all that. Trust me. And you can write it down in a diary, put it on a notebook, put it on your phone or something, and set it ahead of time, about 40 years. And I bet you $100 that you're going to try everything that you can possibly try to stay as young as you possibly can while you're on this good old earth. Because right now, even at 20, even at 16, women are forced to wear makeup. That's the beginning of trying to look younger. So just keep that in mind. That's just the start of it. As you progress, you're going to put on more makeup. When that doesn't work, then you're going to resort to other things. And then you're going to be able to say and look back when Madonna's probably gone from this earth. And you're going to look back and say, damn, all those comments that I made about Madonna should act her age and everything. Now I'm this age and I'm dressing just like her and trying to be just like her, trying to, get Botox, or if we probably have something better probably by then, but unfortunately we don't. But that's all I got to say on that. We made this a little bit too long.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive.
Okay.
Just treat everyone with dignity, kindness, and respect, and that's all I got to say.
Okay.
And I just want everyone out there to stay safe and have a good day. And thank you for listening to us rant. But I thought it was very important to discuss this issue. Have a good day. Goodbye.